Hi, everyone, and welcome to English for You. I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
Today, we're on the third and final day of Charlotte's Web. It's the story of Wilbur, a pig who was born a runt, but from the beginning, we can tell that his life would be no ordinary life for a pig. He was saved by Fern. She took care of him. She raised him. He went on to Mr. Zuckerman's farm, where things were good for a while. He had some hard times and things like that, but things started to get better until he learned that he was getting fattened up for Christmas dinner, according to the sheep. And they had to think of a way to get him out of that, and the way out was through his friend Charlotte, who is a remarkable spider who can speak and write English.
That's right.
And she wrote Some Pig
and
saved his life.
That's right. And then she came up with some even better words. She came up with fantastic and radiant, spun those into her web so they were basically writing.
Terrific was the word.
In the terrific and radiant. And of course, news of this amazing pig and also the amazing spider who writes messages for the pig spread around the farm, spread around the countryside so that Wilbur became quite a famous pig, and Mr. Zuckerman decided not to eat him. In fact, he took him to a country fair and entered him into a best pig competition. Now, that was pretty exciting, of course, for Wilbur. His two friends, Charlotte, the spider, and I believe Templeton, the rat, who was also helping to make Wilbur more popular, they came along with Wilbur to the fair, and they got a little discouraged when they discovered that another pig was going to be in the competition, too. This pig named Uncle was really, really good, and he'd actually won a prize. I think part of the fear is that if Wilbur doesn't win, Mr. Zuckerman might again decide to eat him. So they kind of feel like if he wins, then Mr. Zuckerman can never eat him because he'll want to win again next year, right? So he has to keep Wilbur alive. At the same time, Fern, the young girl who was there, she was having some problems because her mother had noticed that Fern was talking to the animals. Her mother was worried that Fern was maybe a little crazy or a little strange, but the doctor actually said, no, Fern's totally normal. In fact, it's your problem, Fern's mother. You talk too much. You should stop talking and use your imagination like your daughter does.
Okay, let's find out what happens to Fern, Charlotte, Wilbur, and Templeton by reading through day 3 right now.
Reading Charlotte's Web. At the fair, Charlotte works around the clock. First, she spins the word humble into her web. Next, she has to prepare an egg sac for her upcoming babies. After all her effort, the friends are disappointed to see that Uncle has won the prize for Best Pig. Suddenly, a loud voice rings out, asking Zuckerman to bring Wilbur to the stage. The judges have decided to award Wilbur a medal, just for being a remarkable pig. Charlotte is content. She realizes that Zuckerman will never hurt Wilbur now. When Wilbur returns from the stage, she tells him that she's dying. Wilbur begs Charlotte to come home with him, but she doesn't have the energy. With Templeton's help, Wilbur carries Charlotte's egg sac back to the farm. Charlotte dies alone the next day. Back at the farm, Wilbur patiently waits for the birth of Charlotte's babies. When they're finally born, 3 of Charlotte's babies spin their own webs nearby. Wilbur knows that he will never be lonely again.
The story begins today by saying at the fair, Charlotte works around the clock. So she's got a lot of weaving to do. She's got to make these new words to try to make people pay attention to Wilbur so that he can win this competition against Uncle. So she's working around the clock. If you work around the clock, it means that you basically, in a day, you never stop working. You don't rest for at least 24 hours. You just keep going and going and going, and that's what she's doing. She's working around the clock. This phrase comes from the hands of the clock going all the way around, from 12 to 12, from midnight to midnight, or from noon to noon, something like that. Around the clock is our shortcut for you for today, so let's take a closer look at this phrase.
Shortcut for you.
So, tell me, why should I buy your product?
Well, it is the best product that you can get. I guarantee it.
What if it breaks?
If you ever have a problem with one of our products, just call this number. We have people working around the clock who will answer the phone and help you.
Around the clock? They sit around a big clock?
To do something around the clock means at all times.
I get it. Around the clock is 不分昼夜，日以继夜。
Exactly. Our people are waiting around the clock for your call.
Well, it seems like a pretty good deal.
Trust me, it's the best deal you can make. If it's not, you can contact me. I'm working around the clock.
Okay, I'll buy from you. I just hope this product works around the clock.
It will.
All right, so we're back, and Charlotte is working hard, working around the clock to help Wilbur win this important competition. So what does she do for him? Well, first, it says she spins the word humble into her web. Remember, she's writing English words, English messages into her webs, and one of the new words she has is humble. That's a good word. I guess Templeton the Rat found that one too. And humble is the opposite of proud, okay? If you're proud, you're like, I'm so great, I'm so fantastic, everyone loves me. If you do something good, you tell everyone about it, and you love to hear them say, oh, I heard you did that. Yes, I did. I know I'm so great. If you're humble, you're the opposite. If you do something great, people say, you're awesome, you're fantastic. You, oh, it was nothing. Oh, I had a lot of help from my friends. Oh, really, it's not that important. So you're not really interested in people praising you. You're not really interested in people saying how great you are. In fact, it might make you a little bit uncomfortable if you're a humble type of person.
Next, she has to prepare an egg sac for her upcoming babies.
Charlotte's pregnant?
Charlotte's going to have some kids.
Oh my gosh.
Spiders, they lay eggs. Actually, that's where their kids come from, and they do so in something called an egg sac. It's just looks kind of like a bag that the eggs will go into. Mike is looking very uncomfortable and grossed out by this. Mike is not a fan of spiders or tiny little egg sacs.
I was painting houses one summer in Canada in college, and I found some egg sacs under the roof of a building. And when the eggs break, when the spider babies are born, it's terrifying.
There are lots of them.
Hundreds of them come running out. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
You realize that they're tiny
yes.
and they can't do anything to you, but still, there's just something about seeing the egg sac and the spiders inside coming out.
They can still crawl all over you.
I painted somewhere else for the rest of the day.
I would too, but this is a lot of work for Charlotte. She has to prepare this egg sac. They have to weave them, I guess, just like they would a web.
Right.
And it's a place for their babies to be safe. So the predators, the things that will eat them, can't see them. And we say that these are her upcoming babies, so the babies will, the eggs will hatch in the future. If something is upcoming, it's coming in the future. It's not happening now, it's not from the past, it's going to happen in the future.
After all her effort, the friends are disappointed to see that Uncle has won the prize for Best Pig. Oh, I can see how they would be disappointed. If you're disappointed, you're let down. You wanted to get good news, but you got bad news. You wanted to win the game, but you lost the game. You wanted to go see that really popular movie this weekend, but tickets are sold out. Aw, you're disappointed. You've gotten bad news, basically. So yeah, they worked really hard, but Uncle, the same pig that won last year, he won again this year. Well, sometimes it's tough to beat a winner like that.
It's tough to beat a champion.
Yep.
And Uncle apparently is quite a champion pig.
I bet he'd be delicious.
He would be delicious. He'd make some good Christmas ham. They should eat him instead.
Yeah.
Well, suddenly, a loud voice rings out asking Zuckerman to bring Wilbur to the stage. The voice rings out. If something rings rings out, it means it's a loud noise that's very easy to hear above any other noise that is going on. So this is a county fair. It's quite a loud place. People are talking, laughing, having a good time. But there's one voice that rings out above it all. And the voice is asking Zuckerman to bring Wilbur to the stage. So what's going to happen? He's going to go up there, and what are they going to say? What are they going to do? They've already crowned the champion. So
he can't win.
He can't win. So what is this about?
Interesting. Well, it says the judges have decided to award Wilbur a medal just for being a remarkable pig.
Wow.
That's pretty special. What a special honor for him. So the judges, the people who pick the winner in this competition, they've already given the first place prize to Uncle. We know that. But they decided to award Wilbur a special medal. When you give someone a medal, you give them some kind of trophy, some kind of prize. Medals are often worn on clothing, right? Soldiers will wear medals on their uniforms. They're often a small sort of large, it's maybe like a large coin, and it might have writing on it or an image on it saying you win a medal for this, for fighting in this war, for doing this brave thing. And then it will be attached to a colorful ribbon that will be pinned to your clothing. So when you walk around, people say, hey, you won a medal. Wow, you must have done something very special. And that's what a medal is for doing something very special. And you are awarded. To award is to give in a formal kind of way. So you don't give someone a medal, you award someone a medal. They've done something amazing or really special to earn it, to deserve it, so you're giving it. So we'd use this word award when we're talking about giving something special or through some kind of formal process. So he got this medal or was awarded this medal for just being remarkable, for being special, incredible, unusual, amazing, and just generally awesome.
Now, Charlotte is content.
Oh, good.
She realizes that Zuckerman will never hurt Wilbur now. If you are content, it means that you are quietly happy, you are satisfied with the outcome of something. So she put a lot of work in, so she's probably very tired. She's exhausted. She's got babies coming too, so she would be quite exhausted. And so she's probably not cheering and clapping. She's just being quietly happy with how things have turned out.
Good. Yes.
When Wilbur returns from the stage, she tells him that she's dying.
Oh, no. Charlotte the spider?
Wow. Okay, so this is some bad news.
Oh.
She's content, but she's dying. She's going to pass away.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen next?
Well, it says Wilbur begs Charlotte to come home with him, but she doesn't have the energy. She's old. She's tired out after having all those babies, even though Wilbur begs her to come home. When you beg someone, you ask them to do something, or you ask them in a very sort of weak, pleading kind of way. Please, 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 will you do this for me? That's begging. You're not asking. You're not demanding, give this to me. You're saying, please give this to me. You know, you might beg if you have no food or no money or something like that, or if you really, really want something. I remember as a kid begging my parents to let me go out on the weekend with my friends, and they'd say, not until you finish your homework, but please, I'll finish it on Sunday. No, you have to finish it today. I was asking in a very sort of needy kind of way.
With Templeton's help, Wilbur carries Charlotte's egg sack back to the farm. So the eggs haven't hatched yet. That's hatch means when the eggs break and the babies come out. Charlotte dies alone the next day.
This is when everyone cries.
Yeah, remember on day one when I said it's famous for making people cry? This is when people cry in the story. Yeah. Charlotte sadly passes away. I remember my old English teacher. He cried when he read us this story in high school.
Wow.
So
you must have all laughed at him.
We probably did. We probably
That's
laughed.
Mean.
It was mean. But
because it is sad.
It is a sad story.
Yes.
Now, back at the farm, Wilbur patiently waits for the birth of Charlotte's babies. If you are doing something patiently, it means you aren't saying, come on, hurry up, let's get this done. You were just sitting there quietly waiting for something to happen in its own time, at its own pace. You'll just say, oh, well, when it happens, it happens. I'm not going to hope that it happens more quickly or faster. So he's just watching the egg sac, waiting for the babies to be born.
When they're finally born, 3 of Charlotte's babies spin their own webs nearby. Wilbur knows that he will never be lonely again. He's got a whole bunch of new friends all thanks to his good friend Charlotte. She really did a lot of wonderful things for this young pig, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She saved his life.
Yeah.
Basically, she was a very selfless, very caring spider. She just did all this work for him.
That's right.
Expecting nothing in return,
right.
really. But in the end, he was able to help her after she died by saving her babies, taking them back to the safety of the barn where they could be born and spin their own web. So, although it is somewhat of a sad ending because Charlotte dies, we have the hope of new life, and we know that Wilbur will never be lonely again. He will always have friends around him, and hopefully no one will ever make him into Christmas dinner or sell him off at the county fair.
That's right.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this story over the past 3 days. We're almost out of time. Before we leave you, let's go to our For You chat.
For You chat.
Over the past 3 days, we've seen a lot of animals giving other animals a lot of help. A lot of people have helped out Wilbur on his journey through life. Charlotte helped him out, of course, by spinning words in her web. Templeton the rat helped him out by going out and finding the new words for her to spin so people would continue to spread news about him far and wide. So that's what our For You chat question is about. It's about helping. Mike,
yes.
What's something you've done to help your friends?
Something I've done to help my friends.
Have you helped your friends before?
First of all, I have to have friends.
Okay.
And I don't have any friends.
Let's pretend you have friends.
Okay.
And
of course I have friends. Well, I feel kind of bad because I've never helped my friends avoid being turned into dinner.
Oh, yes.
Like what Charlotte did for Wilbur. So anything I say will be less good.
Less good.
Not so impressive. But I've helped friends move, paint their houses, get jobs, meet a girl.
Helping friends move is a big thing.
Helping them move is I don't mind it.
You don't mind it?
No.
Okay, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to call you when I need to move a couch.
Darn.
Up and down 5 flights of stairs.
I spoke too soon.
Now you said it.
I did. Well, the thing is, though, if you help someone move, the agreed payment is pizza.
Pizza.
You have to buy pizza afterwards to
You
help
didn't say the size of the pizza. Small pizza.
Darn.
You're getting a small personal pizza.
Then I'll only move the small things in your apartment.
Okay.
How's that?
That
I'll
seems
move
fair.
the forks and spoons. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do to help your friends. What about you? Can you think of some good ones?
I like to help my friends who are also musicians to book shows.
Oh, okay.
In other countries.
That's good.
They often contact me because I have lots of friends in different places, and they say, how do I perform in this country? And I say, oh, you can talk to this guy, and he'll set you up and give you a place to stay.
Really?
Yeah, I like helping people do that because it makes them very happy to be able to go to other countries and perform.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. It's not moving couches, it's not spinning words in webs, but we can all help in our own way, and you guys can discuss how you help your friends as well. We're out of time. 3 days of Charlotte's Web is at an end, and we will see you next time on English for You. Until then, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike.
Goodbye.
Charlotte's Web. At the fair, Charlotte works around the clock. First, she spins the word humble into her web. Next, she has to prepare an egg sack for her upcoming babies. After all her effort, the friends are disappointed to see that Uncle has won the prize for Best Pig. Suddenly, a loud voice rings out, asking Zuckerman to bring Wilbur to the stage. The judges have decided to award Wilbur a medal, just for being a remarkable pig. Charlotte is content. She realizes that Zuckerman will never hurt Wilbur now. When Wilbur returns from the stage, she tells him that she's dying. Wilbur begs Charlotte to come home with him, but she doesn't have the energy. With Templeton's help, Wilbur carries Charlotte's egg sack back to the farm. Charlotte dies alone the next day. Back at the farm, Wilbur patiently waits for the birth of Charlotte's babies. When they're finally born, 3 of Charlotte's babies spin their own webs nearby. Wilbur knows that he will never be lonely again.
Vocabulary review.
Humble. Julia is humble about her success. She never shows off in front of others. Disappointed. Megan was disappointed when she didn't get the birthday gift she wanted. Award. The teacher awarded the prize to Ben, who wrote the best story in class. Medal. Nora won the gold medal for finishing first in the 100-meter race. Beg. The boys begged their mother to let them stay up to watch the baseball game. Patiently. It's hard for young children to wait patiently for their turn to play a game.